I'm Celeste.
And I'm Jordan.
And
this is Collision Root Literature.
Today, we're going to be talking about the strange and beautiful sorrows of Ava Lavender.
The title fits well because the story is told by Ava Lavender, a girl born with the wings of a bird, which checks the category of strange. She gets to see the real world as beautiful before she is raped by Nathaniel Sorrows, which is sad on its own. Kira Cass, #1 New York Times bestselling author of the Selection series, says rich with lyrical and whimsical writing, Leslie Walton's debut aces with the exquisite slow burn of the beautiful, heartbreaking, and messy love story, Generations in the Making. Equally haunting and hopeful, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender imaginatively explores the real-life questions of why we love and how we choose to hold on to it.
Leslie Walton, the author, was born in the Pacific Northwest and currently lives in Seattle, the setting of our story, where she teaches middle school students. She has a master's in writing and lives with her chihuahuas, Mr. Darcy and Doc Holliday.
In the early 1900s in New York, Amelia lives with her family who all pass in tragic ways. She marries Connor Lavender, who takes her to Seattle when she promises him one child. They both uphold their promises, but shortly after their daughter Vivian is born, Connor dies. She cares for his body and, quote, only then was she's satisfied, for it meant she kept the promises she made when she married poor Connor Lavender, that she would be a good wife to him up to and even after the bitter end. She may not really love him, but she does care for him and is a woman of her word.
When Vivian is young, she befriends Jack Griffith, and they eventually fall in love. Jack leaves for school and falls for someone else, but he returns and sleeps with Vivian, resulting in the birth of twins Ava and Henry. Quote, most preferred to give Jack the benefit of the doubt. They like to assume that he simply didn't know about us, end quote. Jack never helped Vivian or visited the kids. He did know about them, but he was just a bad person.
The girls are strange as Henry doesn't talk much and Ava is born with bird wings. Ava befriends a girl named Cardigan, who sneaks her out one night. On her way home, Ava meets Nathaniel Sorrows, an aspiring priestess, and believes she is an angel. Quote, it is supremely fitting that the angel should appear on the street where his most reverend follower is staying, unquote. Nathaniel truly believes Ava is an angel and writes about her in his diary. Frequently, Ava has a crush on Nathaniel, but soon realizes she's in love with Cardigan's brother.
On the other hand, has become obsessed with Ava. He attacks and rapes her, discovering that she is not an angel. He then proceeds to hack off her wings and runs away. He says, you tricked me, before he leaves. Ava never told him she was an angel. He hurt her and then blamed her. Vivian looks for Ava and sees Nathaniel running away. The ghosts of Amelia Ann's sisters appear and burn him to a crisp. Ava rushes to the hospital and slowly recovers. Her wings grow back, but eventually she takes flight, saying, but mostly I like to think that Jack Griffith, my father, smiled as I let go of the railing behind me and stretching my wings to the star-studded sky, soared into the night. Jack found out he had twins, and Ava hoped that he saw her reach her freedom after a life of being kept in the house.
This book is full of biblical allusions, but also contains Greek myths. Ava says, quote, but I've been protected my whole life, forced to watch the world through the lonely window of my bedroom while the night called to me, like a siren luring forlorn soldiers into a rocky shoal. The sirens sang songs that lured men to their deaths. They are historically half woman and half bird. Like Ava herself, the siren is luring Ava to her freedom.
The book is set in 20th century Seattle. During the Great Depression, Amelia Ann was able to keep the bakery that was her husband's and produced baked goods daily, and even on occasion give away free bread. Her bakery is on Pinnacle Lane, which is the main setting for this book, which just so happens to be the same street the family house is on. Her bakery helps her provide for her family. Pinnacle Lane fits in with the geographical location.
Of course. When thinking about the cultural significance, it would only make sense to think about the setting, which is Seattle, and how Seattle's culture was mainly Christianity. This is shown greatly within the book because with how people state that Ava's an angel and how in the beginning there was praying involved, there were some setbacks, such as when Nathan Saros became obsessed with Ava and how Nathan had been attending services at the Lutheran church, but that kind of only encouraged him to become more obsessed with Ava and believe that God had granted him Ava.
Major theme seems to be an unfortunate love affair, bringing in pain and passion that would make a huge effect on Ava's life. This is portrayed from when the naive Ava meets an obsessed Nathaniel Saros and ends up bringing sorrow into Ava's life.
What novel doesn't have motives? Of course, Ava's wings are a big part, but it's the feathers on her wings that are so symbolic. They represent how she's different and yet still so good. When Ava's wings get cut off, she's the same person. It doesn't change how good she is or how others see about her, but she kind of isn't recognized by others. Her hair is another motive because it represents her identity, and once Ava bleaches her hair, her freedom's kind of granted because people don't notice who she is and they don't think that she's an angel. They just think of her as someone else.
Thanks for watching. This
It's Collision Root Literature.
Talk and you just do funny things.
Yeah, get your butt up here.
This book is full of biblical allusions, but also contains Greek myths. Ava says, quote, "But I've been protected by my whole life, forced to watch the world through the lonely window of my bedroom while the night called to me, like the siren luring for..." Yep.
Every time she messes up, I make a face.
There's so many papers. For what reason?
Because there's a lot of freaking crap we have to do on.
This one, this is /Jordan /Jordan. So once, my knees.